What's up, friends? This is Jazz bringing you another Pokemon Crimson Fury overview/review. This is on Chapter 15, Skullz and the World Beyond. We start with Michael on Rhaegar, going to Iron Mountain and searching for who called him. After a little bit, they figure, oh, it's a waste of time. We can't find him. They should have went to see Piper. But as they're about to leave, the voice calls them again. They're like, who's there? And then they find a woman in a Team Magma, outfit walk out. And Michael, after a few minutes, realizes it's Courtney, right? The one who's hired Claude Jocks to defend Cassius. And they get into a conversation saying that, why are you here? Why did you call me? She says, because she wants the same thing he does. It's like, I highly doubt it. She's like, have Cassius and Alisar out, to destroy them, to get rid of them. And he's like, why? Well, she goes on saying, because they're going too far to protect our kid for any more harm from going on. And after talking for a while, Michael still being so skeptical the whole time, why would you be there to help me? And she takes his arm and says there's a vision of 3 people who are going to betray him. One is that the first one he knows, but he refuses to see. The second is that he sees, but he refuses to believe. And the final one he will not see because he's already going to be in the depths of the fire, when it actually happens. So it's kind of a vision, a prophecy. I don't know the right word for it, that something bad is going to happen to Michael, right? But he can stop this prophecy by joining her. And he's like, why would I join you? Because again, we want the same thing. With both of our power together, we could stop them, because the syndicate is not as strong as Alisar hopes that it is, right? And Courtney says, with those 2 together, they will be able to stomp him. And he still isn't. He still says, no, I don't want to. Why should I? So she gives him an emblem, which again gives blood. Right, to show that he's the only one that can use it. Though that's a sucky way to do that, in my opinion, but it is, again, I'm sorry, before I go further, I didn't go into so in depth with this, but there's so much to process. The whole point is that she was trying to get Michael to join her. She was telling Michael her version, what he would probably want to hear, in a way that she's on his side. That way she hates Cassius and Alisar as much as he does, and so she's trying to get a web to pull him along a little bit, is the point of this whole part of the chapter. I did say the prophecy as best as I could, because that is, I think, really important. So now we're with Addie and Ryan, and they're just leaving Ralph's ship when it finally, anchored, and Ryan wanted to help Ralph fix the ship. He said, no, you two, there's nothing you can do, a boy, you can do, and I want you to continue your journey. He said, that was the point with Ralph. He said, to continue your journey, the professor is waiting for you, just go. Right, not in a bad way. He said, it's all right, just go. He said he owes him a lot. He already kind of paid his dues, Ryan, by saving their lives in a way. So, when they get off and they start noticing, the bit of the outskirts of the town, which unfortunately isn't going to get much tourism now, because of the whole issue with the ferry, but they're seeing, a bed and breakfast, right? And then, suddenly, though, Ryan's Pokeball wiggles, and poof! Out comes Sandshrew. He looks around, and they notice he's looking for someone, but then when he sees Ryan, he's runs and hugs his leg, and oh! And what was so cute is he's oh, he's not ready for a Pokeball yet. He wants his mama. And And Ryan picks him up because he tries to get up and to go into Ryan's shirt. He's like, "You're lucky you're still a little kid." And Addie's like, Addie pokes his nose and, "You're lucky you're just adorable." And I mean, oh, like, sorry, just little scenes like this in a story that's overwhelmingly dark, a little I mean, there are some funny moments, but so far I'm noticing a pretty dark theme, you know, that it probably is going to get more serious, so little moments like that are very appreciated. Even though, yeah, it kind of builds who Sandshrew is, right? That, it's just adorable moments like that is just, again, adorable. Like, he's like, "Mama," it's like, if Sandshrew could talk, he'd be, "Mama," I'm really sure it's what he would say. But the backtrack 5 seconds, it also talked a bit about Sparks, how since its evolution, it went from a skittish Eevee to almost like Ryan, adventurous and brave, right? So it showed that his personality switched, you know, complete 180 in a way, but that was only brought on a little bit, so wasn't a big part of it. That's why I probably forgot. But anyway, they do start walking more after that while he's holding the Sandshrew, right? Or just as they're about to, they hear a noise in the bush, which again, Sandshrew gotta get scared, and out jumps a big brat-looking Pokemon that is black, which again, we know, a Alolan Raticate. And he starts getting all vicious, right? And then they try to walk around him, but he wants to battle. He jumps there, and then Ryan's like, "Okay," he was about to send out Sparks, right? "If this is a battle you want," and then suddenly they hear a loud, "Wait!" And out comes Lizzie. Sorry, I just love comparing myself, like, yay, a Lizzie chapter! Yay! Okay. I mean, there hasn't been any chapter yet focusing on Lizzie. Even if it's not a big part, it's still focusing on her. So, it turns out this Alolan Raticate is hers. But at this point, Ryan and Addison don't know what the Pokemon is, right? And then she's scalding, which his name is Skullz, as in Skullz in the world beyond. See? Like, she scalded him, saying, "If you're causing trouble, you're not getting Puffin's ice, I swear to you," right? And he acts all innocent, like, "Who me?" Like, the Pokemon is a riot. Skullz is a riot. He's like, "Uh-oh, I'm in trouble." He's like, "Oh, me?" Like a kid who almost realizes they've been caught being naughty, then tries to act all angelic. Right? I mean, there's a few moments there where he's still almost, and then when Lizzie looks at him, he's like, you know, skin is right back to her, and one funny thing that I just adored of this chapter is Ryan's fanboying when he realizes who it is. Like, Addison has no idea. He sees the purse with the Pokemon League emblem on it, and then he thinks for a minute, he sees the glasses, right, the dark hair, and then he's like, "Oh my goodness, oh my gosh," and then Addison's like, you know, like, "Wax, didn't they tell you not to, mother teach you not to point?" But he's like, Lizzie is just finds it hilarious, right? She says, "No, it's okay," like, and he's like, "You're Lizzie!" You know, I mean, we know it's Lizzie, right? But you're Lizzie, and then she said, "I knew it, trying to take a break to train this little guy, and I'm gonna be caught, you know." And then he's like, "Lizzie the Legendary." She's like, "The Legendary?" Like, he says, "Oh, that's what we all have nicknames for everyone in the Elite Four, right?" And he dorkishly does his little salute with all the nicknames, which I'm not going to mention all of them at this point. You've probably read it. Anyway, and she's like, "Wow," and both Lizzie and Addison are just staring at Ryan, embarrassed for him and partially themselves, right? Then he's like, "I'm Ryan Kingston." Then she's like, "Ah," it is you. Like, he's like, "You know me?" He says, "I've never seen you since you were a baby," and I'm a friend, and if I'm part of the Elite Four and friend of the champion, of course I would know all the Kingstons, right? And I just found it hilarious. But then she goes on about Alolan Raticate and how she was taking a Pokemon League business, you know, in Alola, and suddenly when she was on the boat she caught the Raticate, going through stuff and eating a couple berries, but instead of caging him up, she decides to take him with her. And she was training him, hoping that he would kind of catch up and be part of the Pokemon League, team. Right? And then Ryan's like, well, how about I help you out? He said, how about I have a battle with it? And surprisingly, Lizzie is so humble. Saying, sure, let's do it. That's a great idea. Like, where you would think that someone in the Pokemon League noticing the starting a Newhorn, Greenhorn trainer saying, yeah, I don't have the time. She actually battles him. Right? And the battle is back and forth for a few minutes. Like Ryan is somewhat holding his own for a while. But one thing I'll say, does he realize that Sparks probably has more moves than just Thundershock? That is just one thing I was thinking reading that chapter, rereading it for this review. He kept going, Thundershock again. I'm like, wait, what? Okay, I know he just evolved, right? But is there any way to know if he knows any other attacks? I mean, I think, I'm trying to think of a good example. Like Lizzie, of course he hit Skullz a few times, but with this set, in the end, it is Skullz who is the victor, Lizzie who is the victor. And even Ryan says, well, I wouldn't expect to be able to pull myself against the Elite Four for a while. Right? But I mean, Lizzie showed that she kind of knew some things, right? Like, she was, actually, I think Skullz did a lot of the battling, though. I mean, she did ask to do a few attacks, right? But Skullz did things like Scary Face and Stomp and Tantrum, which was the finisher for Sparks, in a way. Like, he was holding his own and he hit Skullz a little bit, and he did some damage, but it didn't seem to be enough. Like, Sparks held his own a little bit, but in the end he just wasn't quite more powerful enough. Then again, if Ryan had asked Sparks to do anything but Thundershock, maybe he would have... I'm not saying Thundershock isn't a good move, it's a stab move, yes, but it doesn't show much tactic, if you know what I mean. To just simply attack full-blown with Thundershock. Especially since it's the weaker electric moves. And I'm saying he would know Thunderbolt, but maybe he would know Quick Attack, and be able to outspeed, like, he may have done that. Okay, I'm sorry, my memory isn't, but a lot of the time he said Thundershock. He did it majority of the time, right? Which I'm like, Ryan? I don't think that is quite right. I mean, he needs practice. He needs practice, but as I said, in the end, that is pretty much where it ends. Like, she says that he held his own very well, and he thinks that he'll have no problem against Aaron and Eltrenberg, right? And he's like, thanks, Lizzie, in all happiness. So that was pretty much this chapter. It had a big, heavy plot with Courtney and Michael, but had a little bit of more, easy going with Lizzie's Skullz and Sandshrew. I'm sorry, that is my absolute favorite part. Is the adorable Sandshrew scenes this time around, and I love little moments like that. And another little moment that I did forget to mention that was kind of cute at the very beginning is that when Courtney leaves, Ragnar starts to lick Michael's wound from that prick. Right? That is so, little moments like that is so cute when the Pokemon show their adorable side or their tender side. So anyway, guys, if you enjoyed this video, give it a big thumbs up, and if you're new to this channel and like what you see, please subscribe and help this channel a lot. And don't forget to hit the bell notification so you know when new videos are coming out. And I'll see you guys in my next video.